What is going on, everybody? We back with another video. Now, we talked about SPY being bullish on Saturday, right? With Friday's close, we saw red on the day, but green on the week. Remember, the bigger time frames dominate. So it doesn't matter what you see on the smaller time frames. You have to always remember what's on the bigger time frames. That's what matters, right? So if we quickly look at the SPY, we can see what was happening, how we played it, and what we plan on doing going forward, right? So we see that SPY had a massive move today, right? And if you remember on Saturday, we had drawn out these support lines here on the trend, right? So this was the trend, and we were looking for this trend to hold. We saw this consolidation here on Friday. We broke out of this consolidation in the box. We came up, held the box, did not break back under, right? And then if you extend it this way, you can see that we are now creating higher highs and higher lows. On Friday, we saw this consolidation like this, right? If we zoom in here. So you saw this consolidation like this. And then pre-market, we pretty much came above that. And now you had a new area of consolidation, right? Because now you have this and this as your resistance levels. And now we had to see SPY come down, came down to the support here. And then we started seeing SPY push higher, especially when it got above VWAP over here, right? So let me get this out of the way here. This is anchored VWAP. I don't know if you guys use that, but it works really well when you know how to use it. So right now we see over VWAP right here. That's when SPY started pushing higher, especially when we got the break of pre-market resistance and previous days resistance, right? So we can see this consolidation here. Now, if you guys remember, the first mention that I had on Saturday was BA, right? And we saw BA break out in a tremendous way today. And the reason why I had BA was because the sector looked like it wanted to break out, and BA has been consolidating for some time. And now we see the resistance coming up here, but it's still bullish, right? So we had some room, and now we see some bullish action on BA, right? So are we going to continue? I would like to see another bullish day, and for us to get above this previous price action of 230. So 230 is the number I'm looking at on Boeing, and it's important that you keep that in mind. And it looks like we can have another bullish day and continue to push higher until this 230 area. If we get news tomorrow and we start trading lower, just leave it alone. Remember, you only trade in the direction that you plan on trading. Don't trade both ways because it's harder to be profitable that way. You need a lot of experience and a lot of skills to do that. Now, it's also important to recognize that you need multiple tries sometimes before you get a stock going in your direction. For example, I was trading SHOP, and right off the open, you saw that SHOP has started pushing higher. And right here was a moment where you thought that we were going to break out and continue higher. But instead, you got a pullback, right? And it came back to the opening price. And that opening price held. And then when we got above VWAP again, this gave you tremendous profits for the rest of the day, right? So it's important that you recognize that you have a watch list, that you know what you're doing, that you know your entries and exit signals, your take profit areas. And it's important for you to start getting this into rhythm so that you can make fast decisions and you're not trying to figure things out while the market is open. The hard work comes in before the market opens, not after. So keep that in mind, guys. Some of the bullish stocks that we have on the list that are strongest in the market is Tesla. Tesla now consolidating after pushing higher 2 days ago. Now we see a consolidation up here. We want to see if we're going to get a breakout in Tesla or we're going to come back down and retest this area, right? So it all depends on the news that we get this week. We have CPI and PPI, and then jobless claims coming out. So it's important that you keep that in mind. We see a resistance right here where we are currently at 250. And then we have a little bit of a gap fill to fill here. And then we want to see if we get up there, and then the next resistance will be 276. So this is definitely on my watch list. Tesla has been pushing, and it really doesn't care what the market does. This stock is powerful, right? So it's important that you have that on your mind. Also, I saw Amazon today break a 3-day high, right? A 3-day resistance. So what I mean by that is that you saw resistance back here, 1, 2, 3, 4-day resistance. So it got over here, couldn't hold, came back down. So if I draw this out here, you can quickly see that this is the resistance area right there. Boom. So 1, 2 days prior, it couldn't get above. Today it did. So now we want to see if the news is going to push us higher, or are we going to come back under. If we come back under, now you have to wait until we get above that resistance again, because you don't want to trade chop, right? So if you look at the day trading chart, we got a lot of chop towards the beginning of the day, right? Right here. And same thing in the SPY. Right here, a lot of chop. This is why you have to have the tools necessary to recognize when this is happening, so that you don't go in with, if you go into $1,000 trade every single time, you're not recognizing market conditions, and that could really burn you. Because when you get chopped like this in the beginning of the day, now you just allocated like it's all good, like you have a clear path, and you really didn't. So it's important for you to recognize market conditions and notice when this is happening, so that you can size up when you get everything in your favor, right? So these are the things that I'm talking about. And another bullish stock that we have on our list is CVNA. I don't really like trading these smaller cap stocks because they're easier to control, they're easier to manipulate, and I like the market leaders because they have more consistency and more flow. As you can see here, these are big moves for this stock. But look, one day all the way up, another way all the way down. Today we had another bullish run. But tomorrow we can pretty much see if this is going to be a bear flag, or if we're going to break out to the upside and see this previous resistance of 26, right? We saw a lot of moves in the EV. We saw Plug move today. We saw LCID move today, right? And it's important that you recognize that, like I said, these smaller cap stocks, you really can get screwed, especially if you're trading options, because it doesn't have the volume that you need to trade options consistently, right? Now, if we get bearish, we still have Target as a bearish stock. You can see that right now we're breaking below this consolidation. Today is day 1 of breaking out of this consolidation, so we can see follow through tomorrow to the downside. So if we get a bearish day in SPY tomorrow, it's important that you switch over to the bearish stocks so that you can go with the flow and be in harmony and in the same side as what the market is doing. So SPY is bullish, but if we have one red day, you want to narrow down those bearish stocks that didn't have bullish movements like the market did today, because they have relative weakness. So these are the things that you need to point out in your trading. You need to have an idea of what you're looking at so that you can always be prepared. All right, guys, keep an eye on industrials, keep an eye on the SPY, and trade smart. Don't put the same amount of money towards every trade, because every trade is not the same. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.